daddies, metal daddies, metal daddies, metal daddies. Metal daddies.
Welcome back to another week with us here at Death Metal Daddies. My name is Jeff,
Hi, I'm Silas.
and you're back for another week. And you know what? It's a big week. And do you know why? I
No, Jeff, why?
Today officially marks Death Metal Daddies' 1 year birthday.
Holy shit,
We've
wow.
officially been
No
doing this
kidding.
for a year.
Wow. Damn, look at us, dude. That's pretty
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah, this is where we'll roll the compilation of everything.
Damn. So I guess it's like time to tap out,
I guess so. We just got called Dunsies.
huh? No, that's cool. I was going to count the 1 year on the 52 episode, but I don't know. I guess because we skipped some weeks here and there.
Yeah. I was just looking at the date we published our first episode. Because I don't
Uh,
technically know when we recorded our first one. I just can see when we first published it. Yeah, officially a year.
well,
I want to say
hell
it was
yeah,
May
man.
2nd or May 5th, maybe.
That's awesome.
Somewhere around there.
Damn, go us.
Yeah, look at us.
Those checks are going to be rolling in, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, a big birthday week for us. How's your week been? How's your 1 year anniversary been?
It's been great. I've been making the family sit down and listen to every episode. We've started from the very first one and just made it to the last week. So I literally forced them all to sit down and listen to it on my JBL speaker at max volume. So
As is the tradition.
yes, right. So, it's been a big moment for us. I can tell you they love it. So uh, no, it's no, week's been cool. I'm on week 5 of this statistic course too, so that's a great reason for celebration. This thing's really sucked, so, but I'm sure I've said that plenty. Trying to think of different things to talk about. How my week has been. Oh, I got a new helper at work, so that's cool. It's just been me manning these like 250 something units for like my regular job, so. We picked up this dude for like summertime help, and he's working out great so far. So that's pretty sweet, man. Um, had a nice lawn mowing the other day. Yard looks
Ooh, I know you've
freaking,
been waiting for that.
yeah, pretty top notch and real good. Yeah. Um, yeah, man. That's I think that's it for me for now. Oh, I got my license. Yeah. Yeah, so
For,
I just had to renew it. Yeah. It
oh,
wasn't revoked or anything. So,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
No, just a renewal. But it's I updated the picture, and of course, it turns out to look like a mugshot instead of like a good license photo. So because it's like this green, just like thing, or like a light, just like a light. She's like, all right, just look at the light. And so like I'm like, okay, directly at the light. Like, is the light the camera? And I guess so. I'm just like kind of looking like this inspecting it and then takes the photo. So it just like I don't know, it turned out to look real mugshotty. So that's
Have
great.
you have you thought about taking it when you're drunk so that way if you get pulled over, it always looks like you're. I was like, oh, he looks normal.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, this is me every day. Yeah, it's all like slanted eyed and everything. Oh man, it'd be hilarious. Um, yeah, man, that's pretty much been my week. What about you? How have you been?
Good. I was very busy last week with just me and the boys up until about Saturday morning.
Oh yeah, I
Wasn't
was
too
wondering
bad.
how that went.
Wasn't too bad. It was kind of annoying because we had that tornado last Tuesday, and so the power was out for most of Springfield, which meant the daycare
Oh,
was also without power. So the
oh
daycare I was going to
damn.
have Theo go to Thursday and Friday. He couldn't go Thursday, but they actually did get power back Thursday night, so could actually use the daycare on Friday and actually go back to work. And then I had drill this weekend. Um,
Crazy. It's like every episode we're talking about like a new tornado that you ran
yeah,
into.
just craziness down here.
That's ridiculous, dude. That's the Midwest for you. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah, we had another tornado the other night. It just passed right through, took the neighbor's house. Ours is still there, thankfully. So
could be worse. Could be earthquakes or hurricanes because I feel like those are way more
true.
destructive.
Yeah, right. Like out of all the things that we have to worry about, I think like I'm kind of grateful it's tornadoes, you know. Even though like the only thing that sucks is like they're not predictable at all.
Yeah, they
It's
can
just
happen
like,
at any
hey,
point.
it could happen like in this giant like 100-mile stretch. So good luck. You know, hope it doesn't hit you. It's like, damn, dude.
Yeah,
Um,
because even when we live out way out in the middle of nowhere, so aren't even sirens. So you really just have to
oh, geez.
watch the news. Hopefully your phone gets an alert. I didn't get an alert. I had to watch
Stand
the
outside,
news.
watch the
Yeah, I wasn't gonna
clouds,
stand outside.
check those formations, get your white New Balances on, hand on the hips.
Yep,
I
smells like
I see it
tornado weather.
forming. Yeah. Yeah. Can you smell it in the air? Hear that silence? That means it's coming.
Yeah, other than that, yeah, the kid, Danny and Andy came back right in perfect time because I had to be in Springfield at 7:30, about an hour away, and they got in at about 5 in the morning.
Oh wow, damn.
So luckily, no flight delays, so that all worked out perfectly. Other than that, I haven't really been doing much. I did get tickets to the Mastodon concert this Thursday, which, if you're
Nice.
interested, I found a way to get cheap tickets, 11
Oh, okay.
bucks.
What? Wow.
Through VetTix.
Damn.
So, also, if any veterans are on listening to this, check out VetTix if you haven't already. If you're a veteran or a current service member, you can get on VetTix and get just random tickets for events. You can get, we've done Cardinals games, you can do Blues games, Mizzou games, or whatever your state's games are, and random concerts. Uh, Cheapest you can get is 11 bucks, but you can get all four tickets. That's the max you can get is four tickets for 16 bucks altogether. So
Damn, dude, that's
check them
crazy.
out. Yeah, that's what I did with
So
Arnold
this
for
is like
Sleep.
totally legal for other people to use, like non-service members?
No, you have to go in there and prove it. But what I can do is I can buy it and give you the ticket, but you'll probably have to
Okay.
pay to upgrade because no matter what, the ticket's gonna be random. And there are some seats there, but you can just probably pay for upgrade to, and it probably wouldn't even be an upgrade for the pit ticket.
Okay. We're like standing like across from each other.
Or I just turn around, hi, Olson.
Yeah. Hey man, you having a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I can't believe they played that song. Yeah, man, it was crazy.
Just carry a conversation like 15 feet away. Yeah, are you going to get a beer now or no, I'm still got 3 quarters, man.
I'm going to the merch table right now. You want something? Yeah, can you give
Oh
me
no, I just got back, but I'll go.
it?
People
Yeah.
are just like, God, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's this Thursday. Excited for that. But yesterday, even more exciting, I finally went and checked my deer cam and
Mm,
was looking at photos of that yesterday and today. A lot of activity,
nice.
lots of deer. Just seems to be about either every day or every other day. Seems to be activity over there.
Oh wow, that's pretty
I've
good
s-
then.
Most I've captured is about three in one picture, and it appears one of them is a male, but it's one of those ones to where it looks like it's growing its horns back. So it's
Hmm.
still too early to tell how big of a point it's going to be. So
Okay.
that's exciting.
Yeah,
We
that's cool,
just,
man.
yeah, we just went back out there today, put the car back in there, and I also put down some more, put down some apples, uh, like a salt lick block, and then some more deer cane out there. See if I can get some more, and also actually set the date and time on it right, so I can actually know what time of day I'm looking at these things.
Oh yeah,
Because it
do you not
said it
set it
was
yet? Or-
nope. It said everything was. It said I put what early April or something like that, and it said it started on December 31st, and everything's been like. So I've just been having to do backwards math.
Oh
And
shit.
also,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
looking at
funny.
it and it's like, it says it's 7 p.m. and it's pitch black. It says it's midnight, but it looks like midday. I need to fix this. So I went and fixed that too. But yeah, excited about
Nice.
that.
Hell yeah, man. That's always fun. I wish I had a spot where I could do it, but and like I've wanted to just throw a bag of corn out like here to because I mean here at our house like what we it's I don't know we'd every now and then get like 4 or 5 does like come up by the side yard, especially more in the fall and winter than the other months. But I'm sure if I throw a bag of food out there, we'd probably start seeing them. But then I'm just like, I also am trying to have a garden going, so I don't want that
Yeah.
deer to just kind of mosey its way over here once its food's gone, start tearing my shit up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, goddamn deer eating up my garden. But I mean, they are awesome, just to even see.
Yeah. I did see, I've never seen one in the wild. I didn't know they were near here, but I also saw a wild turkey on the deer cam as well.
Oh yeah, dude. So like a rule of thumb for hunters is where turkeys go, deer usually do too. You can
Okay.
usually find deer and turkey in the same places often.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's just, type of habitat they like, um, type of food they go after and stuff, I guess too. I don't know.
I got you. Yeah, I was more worried about like I put these like mineral plots out there and some food out there. I was worried I was gonna get a shit ton of cows, but really I've only gotten one photo of cows out of the 102 photos I ended up getting. Lots of
Oh,
squirrels
that's
though
good.
too.
Yeah, yeah. I used to get like raccoons. I think I got an end of a bobcat one time, but you couldn't really decipher it too much. But um, yeah, and once the raccoons find it, man, oh my gosh, I had a big ass raccoon on camera, dude. It was huge. But yeah, those things are fun, man. That's cool.
Yeah, excited gonna check again another about 3 weeks to a month. We'll see. Excited to see what else I can get out there, especially now that I can know the time that they were actually there. But
Yeah. Are you deleting the SD card on it, I take it, and just doing that or
yeah, I already put on my all the pictures on my computer and then wiped the card and then put it back out there so that way I can keep tracking it to see kind of watch them grow if it's the same ones that keep coming.
yeah, that's cool.
But
I would
my charger.
I would Oh yeah. Anyways, I was gonna say I started categorizing mine into months. So like I would take it, in like July and have my like May to June picks or something and then just keep track of it that way. That way you know what time of year they're coming around and if you don't see because you may end up noticing like patterns like you're just seeing these guys come only, during summer months or something or
I
maybe
got you.
not, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool though, man.
how I set it up is because I chose this specific spot because it's near my hunting spot, but also there's like this shrubbery, like a whole bunch of dead branches, and it kind of creates almost like a over thing. So I feel like that could be like the perfect den for them to like lay down and stuff underneath for
Hmm.
shelter and stuff. So
Yeah.
hoping that's what it can end up being. So hopefully they stay
Yeah.
there longer since it's an actual shelter and there's food.
Yeah. You like build them up. It's like a box house frame. It says deer house on it. Please come in.
Bucks only, no does allowed.
Yeah. That'd be funny.
So you ready to get into this new week's playlist?
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah. New.
What are you guys listening to?
Weekly playlist. Weekly playlist.
Weekly playlist. Weekly.
Music releases.
What are you listening to?
So we actually had I was a bigger fan of this playlist than last week's playlist. In fact, we actually have a lot of
I ag-
pretty good
I
singles
agree.
on here as well. Um, so let's kind of get straight into these singles. First single up is the new song by King 810, Rust Belt New Metal. Um, what were your thoughts on this one?
I dig the direction, like I feel like I definitely like the new metal aspect coming back. I just don't know that it needs to be said. You know what I mean? Like I don't really like the word new metal on it. Like why
Mm-hmm.
I kind of hate that about it. And then I think uh I don't know, man. I feel like I just get so nitpicky in these times, but like um yeah, I don't know. I did dig the direction. I just think he says Rust Belt too many times.
Yeah. I would agree that the new metal part of the title is kind of dumb. I think a better name would have just been called Welcome to the Rust Belt. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been cool.
but I mean, I do love the vibes on this song. I love the intro. It reminds me a lot of which song is, oh, Fatter on the Heart.
Hmm.
I grew up in the church
Yeah.
that but just kind of faster. And the
Hmm.
I don't know. I really enjoy this one. It makes me miss old King 810. In fact, I went back and listened a little bit more. So I'm digging this direction. Hopefully he doesn't say too much on the politics. But I don't mind it so much. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm excited.
Yeah. I think it's cool.
Um, Up next we have a surprise single by the band Party Cannon, who not only announced a new singer, but have announced this
Oh, nice.
brand new single called High Tariff Behavior.
Yes.
And if you didn't know, they're also from England.
It's a great title.
They say it's not has nothing to do with the actual tariffs. They say it's a social worker term for people who blow all their money on like partying and like stuff like that. Which I tried looking it up and I can't find that term anywhere but Party Cannon and the current tariff news. So I don't know how much of that is real.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a great title, man. It's a
Hmm.
great title for a great time. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that yeah, it's perfect. I think it's
And
hilarious too.
yeah, I do. And I also love how it starts off with that sample. Good grief, he's naked.
Yeah, I was wondering because I thought this was a lot more breathe than usual, you know? Like I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting all the squealage. That was pretty cool though.
Yeah, I enjoyed this, especially as soon as like the actual instruments came in and that the bass kind of kicks it off. Like, oh yeah, this is an awesome party cannon. I very much enjoyed this.
Hmm.
Hopefully, maybe they're coming out with more music. I don't know. They just released the album last year, and I don't feel like they release albums that frequently. It's kind of like a typical underground slam band. They kind of space them out for long periods of time. But I really dig this song, and I did see they are releasing this. The only physical version you can get of this is they're releasing it as a Sega Genesis cartridge, and it actually fully
What?
functionally works with the case and
Wow.
everything.
No
It is
shit.
super expensive though. It's about $200.
What?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Damn. That's crazy. That is pretty
Yeah.
sweet though.
Yeah. Yeah, this is an awesome song. What were your thoughts on this song?
High tariff behavior
Hmm.
or yeah. I think it's awesome, dude. I think it's cool. I've always liked this band. Like I said, I definitely feel like I noticed the difference in the vocals. I don't
Hmm.
remember them being that like extreme. Um, but yeah, I definitely dig it, and it like sounds like it's heavier than what I remember that band being,
Yeah.
if I
It
remember
feels
right.
like it feels like a lot heavier, especially than their previous release. I forget what it's Action Land or something like that, or some I forget what it was called, but I do feel like this is heavier
Hmm.
and I don't know. if what they say the word means, it is what it means, it does fit. To just being ignorant and kind of plays into that shtick they kind of do with themselves of like, we're just dumb kids who like to drink and do stupid stuff. Like it fits. So it does work that way. But also, if it is actual reference, they're doing a very good job of playing both camps because everything in it still fits both ends of it.
Oh, really? Like I haven't looked into the lyrics or anything, but
I didn't look in the lyrics. I'm just thinking of like both the opening sample and the ending sample because it
yeah.
has a good grief he's naked, which can kind of work both ways. It can work towards the tariffs, like, oh, it's not actually doing anything, or uh, they're partying so much he's naked now. And then the ending part being, well, I just felt like my IQ dropped. It's like that can literally go both ways as well.
Yeah. It is a cool song, man. I definitely dug it.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Speaking of slam, up next we have another slam-tastic song called Point Blank Execution by the Chilean slam band Esophagus. And to quote the sample using this, damn son, where'd you find
Where'd you
this?
find this? Yeah. It's like that's got to be like the 120th time. That's so, so ridiculous. Um,
I
yeah, I tried to listen to this one. I like the cover. It reminds me of like one of those arcade games where you got to shoot the zombies, but it just sounds so ridiculous. Like where's he recording that vocal from? Like I feel like he's just like holding the mic like outside his throat right here or something to get that sound. It's just like a straight like what is that, dude? It sounds like a car like idling almost. It's crazy.
yeah, this is a fun band. I do enjoy this band. And yeah, I actually kind of like they kind of bring this slower slam to where it is more just like let's only focus on slams in the groove, and that makes it fun for me, especially with the high tariff behavior. It kind of does the both parts of the slam. It has the fast parts, but has the chuggy slam parts. To where this is
hmm
just kind of almost like old school devourment. Just let's only focus on slams. Let's just groove. So I enjoyed that part. Yeah, this is a brand new single, and they just released an album couple months ago, didn't they? That we reviewed, I want to say.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I want to say we had it on the playlist.
Yeah. Yeah, brand new song, Point Blank Execution by Chilean slam band Esophagus. Check it out, or Esophagus. I don't know. I think it's Esophagus, but
Yeah, I think esophagus. I love the title, Point Blank Execution. It's
hell
really
yeah.
sure it's probably not the only one, but that is badass.
Up next, we have another new single from the upcoming album Heimat. This song is called Confounder by the band Heaven Shall Burn, the German metalcore band. I did enjoy this one. It was pretty enjoyable, but I still kind of preferred the previous single. But I'm still gets me excited for new Heaven Shall Burn because I still do feel like there's more energy in these songs, both of them, than it's been past about 3 or 4 albums from this band. So it has me very excited. What did you think of this one?
I thought it was cool. I don't know that it's anything I'm crazy about. Um, Definitely still sound like themselves, which I think's awesome.
Hmm.
But yeah, it wasn't anything I was stayed on for a while, so.
Yeah. Um, now I gotta go because the singles are kind of split up. All right. Up next, we have a band who has also announced a upcoming new album, and that
Yes.
is Signs of the Swarm, finally coming out with a new album, and this new single is called Hell Must Fear Me. What'd you think of this one?
It's heavy as hell, dude. It's badass. I think it's cool. I definitely dig it. Um, it was crazy to like kind of just digest at first. They have like such a chaotic sound. I have to listen to these tracks like a couple times, especially like the new ones. They got so like techy, like that the tech sounds, you know what I mean? On like the synths and shit like that, like the keys.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, it fits, it works, but it's just like it's high paced shit, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I'm getting like old and slow, so uh, but it's cool. I dig it, man. I think like they're just one of the heaviest sounding bands ever. Like his
Yeah.
vocal is just so sick, dude. I
Oh
love it.
yeah. Yeah, I do like this track. I think I like it more because they came out with a track couple I want to say it was late last year.
I
Um
won't let you die or something like
yeah, and
that.
I feel like this one's a lot better than that one. Uh and also just listening to this, it makes me appreciate Signs of the Swarm because it makes me think of how far they've come from uh like compare this to like Nightcrawler or Cesspool of
Yeah,
Ignorance, or even Dave's
it's weird.
first album with them. This feels a lot more put together, uh, more in your face, faster, more extreme. I'm enjoying seeing Signs of the Swarm flourish like this. So this is new upcoming album is pretty exciting.
Yeah, for sure, dude. For sure. No, I mean, hang on. All right, so
All
Signs
right,
of the Swarm. Yeah, that was
yeah.
cool.
Up next we have new song by Putridity. This is gonna be their new song of their upcoming album, and this song is called Mors Mater Nostra. Um, I really enjoy this band, at least the one album that I got really into. I think it was I talked about it last episode, but uh I think I misspoke last time because I remember them being more slammy, but this song it doesn't really seem slammy. It has it seems to be more like brutal death metal. So it's still like slam style vocals, but it's just intense the entire way through. Still enjoy the hell out of this, but I misspoke last time. But yeah, I really enjoy this. It gets me excited for this new album. What were your thoughts on Mors Mater Nostra by Putridity?
Yeah, dude, brutal as hell, man. Badass low, like guttural there. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely super sick. Gives me vibes of like, what was that band that released a badass album last year? Brodekin.
Oh
Kind of
yeah.
like a Brodekin style type, but in
Mm-hmm.
more of like a crisp kind of production, almost sounds like to me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, it was super sick.
Hell yeah.
Relentless for sure.
I will say though that this has caused a little bit of controversy in the brutal death world because so apparently Vulvectomy released an album I think a couple weeks ago. I've been seeing a lot of praise about it, and now it makes me want to put it on the thing because I never really checked that band out, but I've been seeing a lot of praise on it, so I kind of want to check out this album. But the controversy is coming from this album cover is almost exactly like Vulvectomy's new album cover. It's the same concept, same colors. The only thing that's really different
Really?
is these what's inside.
Huh. Well, let's do a comparison real quick. Might as well.
All right.
Okay, I see it here. Oh, interesting. Huh. So what exactly are we looking at here?
It looks like a
I'm
bunch of
guessing
blood and
this is
guts
a
inside what looks like an opening vagina.
an opening, huh? Uh, yeah, interesting.
And then you put that side by side of Putridity's upcoming new album cover, and it's very similar.
Pretty similar. Although Putridity's kind of looks more intergalactic, would you
Yeah,
say?
yeah,
And
and I would say,
Vulvectomy's is kind of more like webbed and old.
yeah.
How would you
Now I gotta go
describe those?
back. I don't know. I think either way, it's a very super similar concept. But it has similar sounding bands. Uh, but at the same time, I don't feel like that is that new, that crazy of an idea to be, especially in this kind of a genre. for there to be kind of some
Yeah,
cross-pollination.
right.
Like some similar
Yeah,
ideas, like they're pretty much all talking about the same kind of stuff, so there's going to be some overlap.
yeah. Two Vegine albums here.
Hmm.
Interesting. Wow.
I mean, I'll probably,
2025 is off to a hell of a start.
yep, we'll probably check out Vulvectomy's new album at some point. But for me, I'm probably just going to stay on Team Putridity because that's the band I know and love. I don't really know Vulvectomy that well. But yeah, either way, check out Mors Mater Nostra. It's still a great song by a great band. Um,
It's
you know,
interesting. The logo totally threw me off. Like I was not expecting that sound with that logo.
what was
Putridities, because it's
Putridity?
more of, yeah, it's like it looks like a proggy tech
Oh yeah,
experimental
it's more
project.
fine lines and stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, they're a sick band. Especially recommend checking out. Now I gotta look it up. The name of the album I love by them. Degenerating Anthropophagical Euphoria.
Hmm. Oh
Check it
yeah.
out.
I want to say you brought that up on the podcast recently
Yeah,
too.
it's an awesome, awesome album. Check it out. Yeah.
Okay.
After that, we have a new single by a band that we also have covered previously. Uh, and that is Immortal Disfigurement coming out with this new song, Gospel of Annihilation. Um, so this is CJ McCrary's new band, again, and
Don't sound too excited.
it just happens to come out the same day one of his old bands came out with a song.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a crazy move there, huh?
yeah. I'll say this. It's not that it's a bad song, but everything I said about their debut album still fits with this song. It's
Yeah.
it feels like it's more of the CJ McCreary show of look at what I can do weird vocally. It doesn't really feel like
Right.
there's an actual song ideas on this.
Yeah, no.
What's
Yeah,
your
and
thoughts on
it's
this?
pretty much right there, man. It's like the dude, no doubt, like has crazy abilities, and that's cool and everything. But I, yeah, I kind of hate that the songs are just like centered around that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I feel like all the other pieces are just kind of added on later, or I don't know. Yeah, it's just it's such a prominent force of this music, which, yeah, I don't know. I mean, essentially, it is like his solo project, in a weird way. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we seen him live with Lorna Shore, right?
Yeah,
Or
we did.
yeah.
And I feel like that was probably the I've only seen Lawrence Shore twice. That was the worst of the two. Because I was hyped for it, but I felt like my expectations were high and they were n not met by a lot.
Mm,
Because even the
yeah, for
song I
sure.
was excited the most to see was kind of a letdown. I was just really excited to see, I think it was The Darkest Spawn, and they opened
Hmm.
with it, but I don't know, they didn't really hype it up. They just kind of came out, they just started the sample, and then they just kind of played the song. Just like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It was lackluster. I think we talked about it on here before, but yeah, man, I definitely felt the same because they were also all donning like fucking sweatpants and shorts. They just look like they didn't give a shit. You know what I mean? The one that
Hmm.
did was the guitarist with long hair. I think he had just recently joined the band, so he seemed like he was super pumped about it. He
Hmm.
also ran the merch table, so um, and he was nice and everything, and that was cool. But yeah, I don't know, man. I wasn't captivated by any means, but yeah, so this, I don't know. I haven't hopped on this train, Immortal Disfigurement. I don't know if I'm guessing they have a following, I'm guessing they must because, if he's putting this out there and shit, so I don't know. It's not really my cup of tea, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Vokes are gnarly.
Yeah.
No doubt about
I
that, but
I have seen some people try to like push this band up, and it seems to be mostly for like CJ fans. So if you were a fan of their debut album, you'll probably like this one. It's pretty much just that, just a new song. It just feels like this could have been a B-side that they just released, and it could. I feel the same way either way about it. But if you're into Immortal Disfigurement, check it out.
They should do like a co-headline tour across the U.S. Signs of the Swarm versus Immortal Disfigurement. I
Headlined
think
by
that'd be
Lorna
kind of cool.
Shore.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be crazy. They're the two supporting bands. That'd be wild. That'd be a wild move.
Um,
Yeah.
Up next we have new song. I don't know if I haven't really been paying attention to this band, so I don't know if this is their like comeback song or not. I feel like they probably had another song before this, but
Hmm.
the new song by the legendary Shadows Fall, new song Souls Devoured. Um, what were your thoughts on this one?
It's not bad, man. I mean, yeah, it sounds like Shadows Fall. I don't know that it's as riffy. Like they got crazy riffy.
Oh,
I mean, War Within was riffy, but like they got super riffy with that Redemption album. What was that one called? Threads of
just a
Life or
second.
something.
Theo's
Okay.
waking up, and I'll be right back. About that.
All right.
Yeah, Shadows Fall. You said something about redemption.
I don't know. I totally lost it. Thanks,
Oh,
Jeff.
all right. Let me restart this.
Like that. I'm
So the legendary
okay.
metal band Shadows Fall has come back with this new song called Souls Devoured. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, man. So I think it's pretty cool. It's got the Shadows Fall sound. Um, they came back with the same thing they were pretty much doing. Oh yeah, but what I was getting at is so they were super riffy. This one doesn't feel like as riffy as they used to be.
Hmm.
Um, that's okay. I mean, it still sounds like Shadows Fall. However, I think that they just have a big challenge because it's not as heavy as some more prominent stuff out there. Well, I guess I'm biased, I like what I like. So I guess what I'm saying is I just kind of prefer heavier stuff nowadays. So I don't know that I'm really looking to go back into like a Shadows Fall thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. It just didn't really catch my attention that much, I guess is what I'm trying to get at.
yeah. I was the same way. I don't know. I just felt like how it started off. It just felt I don't know. It felt almost mainstream, more mainstream metalish than I was used to of Shadows Fall. And I
Yeah.
do think it's kind of like you brought up. Not really riffy, because I would expect a Shadows Fall song to start very either riffy or have a very
Oh
epic
yeah.
entrance, kind of like the Blinds. Um, but I don't
Yeah,
know. It
and
just
I think that dude is he the one that went to Megadeth? Or
you mean Anthrax, Matt
I know one
Banford?
of them's. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I knew
I
one was playing in a pretty prominent band.
I would assume he would be back in Shadows Fall, but I don't know. I would hope he would be because I feel like he was like the big member of the band besides Brian Fair, the singer.
Oh yeah, see, like it does look like every member's back. John Denias, lead guitar. He was in the band from
That's it.
'96 to 2015, and then Matt Buckhand, rhythm guitar and cleans, and he was yeah, looks like every member that left in 2025 or when they, went on hiatus, whatever you want to call it.
That's right. It's John
Okay.
Dene, not Matt Vanguard.
Okay.
It's John Dene who's in Anthrax, right? Is that right?
I hell, I'm not sure, man. I'm not good on their names. Yeah, fuck it. Sounds good to me.
All right. Yeah, that's the new single, Soul Devoured. Yeah, Jonathan Dene is the one in Anthrax.
And
Yeah,
maybe, maybe I need to give this one more time. Um, benefit of the doubt. So
yeah,
I'll listen to the album if this is leading up to an album. I used to
yeah.
really
Hope,
like this band, so and if it is all the same members, there's got to be something good in there, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
Because surely there's more riffage, and this is just what they thought would be like the song that would get a lot of airplay on like Octane Radio or Liquid Metal or whatever it is, the on the Sirius channels or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's why they released this one. But I don't, when it comes to Shadows Fall, I kind of do want more. Like I know they're not super heavy, but I at least want a little bit more meat on the bone when it comes to their singles and songs that they're releasing. I want more of the like the Blinds, Fire in the Sky, Idiot Box, and stuff like that. Stuff that, we liked back in those days. Yeah.
Sure,
Um, that's it for the
definitely.
singles. We do have an EP. It wasn't on the playlist, but we kind of shared it before. Did you check out this? Actually, it's a demo. This demo of this brand new side project called um,
Oh,
Stolen Gun. You
yes,
check out
dude. Yeah.
Stolen Gun's brand new demo just released today.
Yeah, I was jamming this right before the show and it or the podcast, I mean, but it yeah, dude, it rips. I mean, it's heavy. It's definitely like kind of like the hype fast paced type. Like there's a little, you get the Acacia strain obviously with Vincent, but um it's just like kind of the high speedness of the what was the last two albums called?
Oh,
Uh,
Failure Will Follow and Step Into the Light.
yeah, Step Into the Light. I feel like the high pace moments kind of there's some of that in this.
Mm-hmm.
But this definitely has its own sound too. With that being said, it's um I feel like he's pretty prominently high scream in this
Mm-hmm.
project too. Not really growling too much,
Yeah.
but
I
it's
was
cool,
actually
man. I
having a
dig it.
hard time trying to remember, like, oh yeah, this is Vince, because it doesn't really sound like his typical stuff. Every now and then, you have to, once you think about it, it's like, oh yeah, it is Vince. I can hear it now. But it is a little bit different than I'm used to with him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool though, man.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I dug it.
Hell yeah,
Great name, I think. Stolen Gun. I think that's
yeah. And
pretty
I'm
sick.
assuming the intro track, the SFG, I'm assuming that's Stolen Fucking Gun,
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably.
because I think they say that in there.
I
Yeah,
think he starts off the song with Stolen Gun or Stolen Fucking Gun. Yeah.
yeah. Awesome demo. Check it out. It's 7 tracks long. It's only 10 minutes long. So you have free time. Go check it out. Uh,
I absolutely no excuses there.
yeah. Um, that's it for the all the singles and demos. Let's just move on to the big releases. We have a couple of the full lengths this week, but as opposed to last week, I actually have some top albums. What was your favorite album of this week?
Um, I think my favorite is Big Trouble, Coffin Feeder.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I dig this, man. I think that this was a really fun album, with some ridiculous fun theme in there. Obviously, like kind of hitting the 80s, I guess, or 90s, whatever you want to call it. Um, or whatever it is. But yeah, and these are movie references. There will be trouble. Pork Chop Express. I don't know exactly what every song references, but cool features on here too. Benighted and Pork Chop Express, and that sounds badass, man. When they go back and forth in the song, that one's super cool, man. If It Bleeds with Ben Durr, always a great guest appearance vocalist.
Hmm.
And never fails to make an epic song with him. I really liked The Destroyer too. I felt like there was a lot of good songs on this album. I wasn't really crazy about their first drop. I think this one is like way better, dude. I really like this album a lot. Sick riffs, sick grooves. Plain Zero with Mark Hunter from Chimera, dude. That's a badass song there. Um, definitely awesome. And yeah, man, I mean it's a stacked album. I mean, front to back, really. What'd you think of that?
I couldn't get too into it because something about I think when it comes to Sven, hearing his vocals, it just makes you think, oh, it's almost like it takes over the sound of the band to where it just feels like an aborted album. Um,
Yeah.
So with
He's a
that, I
big voice, man, for sure.
so with that, I when I'm listening to this, I just kind of compare it to Aborted, which for me, I like Aborted more. Um,
Mhm.
so I think this is an album I would have to come back to at some point because right now at this point, I when I hear it, all I hear is Aborted, but it's not the Aborted I like because there is different elements. These are different members. So some I'm probably just gonna have to come back to at some point when more cleansed palette, perhaps, to where I don't have this other
Yeah,
stuff I'm focusing on.
fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, it feels like Aborted to me is kind of bringing those like dark kind of chordy riffage to the table and
Hmm.
implementing that into the sound with, epic grooves and breakdowns and yeah, I mean, high speed as well, but this is just kind of more chunky riffage, high speed,
Hmm.
still too, but it's different in a way. But yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know. It's cool.
understandable. That's
What
and
was
this
your
is
favorite? Sorry.
so I actually have two different ones that could go either way. One of them I thought you were gonna pick. Um, so I'll actually just start off with the one I thought you were gonna pick because this is one of my
Okay.
top ones. And that's gonna be your recommended, the one you recommended, and that is this new album by the band Hate called Bellum
Oh,
Rigus. Uh,
okay.
so initially when I started this playlist, nothing was really hitting. As soon as this one plays, like this is scratching the itch. This is exactly what I was wanting. It's a
Nice.
very dark, moody, um, modern death metal. This is awesome. The only kind of complaint I have is that they put all of their longest songs right at the beginning of the album. It's
Mm,
4 6 minute long songs in a row, but they are all pretty good. Starts off with the great song Bellum Rigus, the title track, Ghosts of Lost Delight. And then after that, the album is pretty much a breeze. You have Prophet of Arkan, Alpha, and Fairy, Goddess of War. This is an awesome album. Check it out. I'm glad you recommended this because this was an awesome album. I haven't really checked. I feel like I've checked out Hate, but I didn't remember them sounding like this. I thought this was an awesome album. What was your thoughts on this one?
I dug it, dude. I feel like I like every album that this band comes out with. I just think they're really easy to listen to. Um, and like listening through their discography, because I've listened to almost I think every album now, but they definitely kind of have this formula, like what their sound is, and their albums are a lot similar to each other. I'll say that, but I did enjoy this one. I liked Iphigenia. I thought that was a really cool track. And then Alpha and Fury Goddess of War was badass too. Yeah, man, they're a great mending of like chuggy riffs, but with like the black metal kind of chords and stuff like that. So,
Hmm.
yeah, man, I'm always a fan of their sound, and that vocals like I love his deep growl, dude. He's got a
Hmm.
sick ass tone, man.
Yeah.
A great vocal, man. I
Yeah.
really want to see them support like Behemoth or Watain on a US tour sometime, man.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
They'd be perfect for those bills, I think.
Yeah, that's this new album, Bellum Rigius by Hate. Yeah, this was exactly what I was looking for, and it filled that void. So thank you for that recommendation. Um, my other pick I was gonna pick is this album, but it is the second album by the band Caustic Wound, Grinding Mechanisms of Torture, I think it's called. Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
Grinding Mechanisms of Torment. Um, so this is a track-wise is a long album. It's 16 songs long, but the album is only 28 minutes long. So this is pretty much a death grind band, but not in the sense of like not the same death grind Aborted and Benighted is. This is more of like a grindcore with some death metal sections in a song. But then there's other songs
Mhm.
later, the half album, where it's like a death metal song with some grind parts in it. This was a lot of fun. The album just blazed through for me. Blood Battery, Human Shield, Advanced Killing Methods. And also, I love the transitions between the songs because the songs are very short, but also how they blend together. Like the ending to Advanced Killing Methods into Blackout was great because it just kind of chaos. Then all of a sudden, you hear him just say Blackout, and then the kind of like awesome chugging stuff going on. Uh, this is an awesome album, and it does end with so everything's really short except for the very last song, Into Cold Deaf Universe, over 6.5 minutes long, and it's fitting end to this album because about the first 2 minutes is just kind of like slow and dreary, and then it kind of picks up and is just chaos, pretty much for the last 4 minutes of it. It doesn't feel like it's actual song, just feels like it's an experience. So yeah, this was an awesome album. What were your thoughts on this album?
I dug it, dude. I think it's brutal, gnarly as hell. Definitely like a death and grindcore. Like it kind of reminded me a lot of Napalm Death, but with more of like the brutal kind of death metal style vocal on there.
Hmm.
And it's like very chaos, almost a little bit too much for me at times. So, it wasn't my favorite of the week, but I thought it was cool, man. They got a cool sound for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's this new album, Grinding Mechanism of Torment by Caustic Wound. And I guess this is also technically, I don't know if you want to call it a super group, but all these members, so it's members of, I guess it's all the members of the band Mortifium,
Mhm.
the member of Cerebral Rot, and then a guy from Magruder Grind. And I guess this is all those members, this is their side projects. This is their second album. Yeah, check out Caustic Wound, Grinding Mechanism of Torment.
Hell yeah.
Other than that, we have two other albums. This other one is another recommendation from you. That's this Convinced to Obey by Neural Glitch. What was your thoughts on this?
It's interesting, dude. I feel like this is very weird. Like listening to it, it doesn't sound like an album as much as it sounds like a soundtrack or script play to a movie or something. You know what I mean? You
Hmm.
sound like you're being transitioned into different radio waves and frequencies, and you get all kinds of random shit in this album, man. It's so weird. I mean, it's cool at times, but then it just gets so weird. Like, there'll be a part that comes on that's like a sick ass groove with a badass vocal, and then it goes into a sick breakdown, and then it just fades out. And then, like, you get this radio wave frequency. It's like, wait, what? Where did that go? What happened, dude? Like, what? And then the song just changes. So it's just like, what the fuck? It's a mind fuck, really. It's the album's a mind fuck, but it's the best way I could put it. Great name for the band, I guess. What's your thoughts, dude? What do you think?
Um, I was gonna say that listening to this band is aptly named because I felt like I was having a neural glitch listening to this. It's
Yeah.
not that it's a bad thing. It's just for me, this was a little too much. I was having a hard time because I felt like there was no solid ground. Because it's almost like you're trying to imagine you're in the woods trying to push all the shrubbery around, but it seems like no matter what, you can't figure out where is the solid ground. Like even the vocal, like I'm listening to like, all right, where's this actual song? Still feels like an intro with all this glitching. The vocals come in, then the vocals start glitching. I feel like I'm becoming like in the movie Wreck-It Ralph when the girl is like a glitch.
Yeah.
Like I'm becoming the
Yeah.
glitch. And I feel like
Yeah. Do you
they're
start see
intentionally
yourself
doing that.
pixelating?
Yes. And it makes me think of if Vale and Maya decided to get the Buried Alive guy as a guitar
Mm.
do guitars for them, and then they had Skrillex produce the album because it's just a
Mm.
lot of
Yeah.
there's layers on this. It seems like because there's a band underneath there somewhere. I don't. I'm also what curious. How did they write this and how did they
I
record
know.
it?
It's
There's
so
just a
interesting.
lot going on.
Yeah, lots of questions, man, for sure. Like, Uh, yeah, I don't know what to think when I listen to it, other than like it sounds like a movie play or something. It's weird.
Yeah, I think I got to about the third track, which was probably just a glitch, and that's the title of the song, not just me saying that. But I got to about there. Is like I can't too much. This is starting to get a little bit of anxiety of going on because I feel like uh I can't figure out what's going on.
This is
But
a high praised album so far. I've seen this on a lot of people's lists and shit. It's
and I can
interesting.
understand that because I do feel like it is one of the most unique things I've heard in a long time.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but for casual listening, I personally would not. I would have to very much be prepared to do a deep dive and try to figure out everything that's going on with this.
Yeah,
So
it's
I will
it's
say
wild, man.
hats off to the band. This is a very creative and probably a lot of talent because there's
Hmm.
obviously like it's the guitar work and all that stuff, the arrangements. Hats off to them. Just for me personally, this
Yeah,
is a little too much.
it's nuts, dude. But it's one of I gotta say it's one of my favorite album covers that I've seen in a long time, man. That is a absolutely badass album cover. It looks like kind of stained glass, but
Oh,
like the more you look, the more you see. It's like weird alien type shit too.
I kind of feel like that's kind of how the music is too. I feel like the more you have to sit down and pick apart, there's more and more stuff going on.
Yeah,
Because I want to say
totally, man.
even this that third track is either phase shift or probably just a glitch. Because there's always that craziness, but one of them has like this piano just like right in the middle, and that's like the only thing that does not have this glitch sound. So it's just like it's
Yeah,
right there, just playing the piano right in front of you, and all this other shit's going crazy.
yeah, it's so weird, dude. Definitely unique.
Yeah, that's this new album, Convinced to Obey by Neuroglitch. Check it out, but be prepared. Uh, if you have anxiety, just be prepared. Um, Up next, we have My Gnawing Pains Will Never Rest by Your Spirit Dies. This is a band that is filling in for Snuffed on Sight on for the Acacia Strain tour. Um,
Oh, okay.
I wasn't too into this. It was okay. Um, I don't know. Me personally, I just feel like I've heard a lot of this before. It feels like a typical, kind of like hardcore metalcore-ish kind of sound. So I wasn't too impressed. I don't know. Maybe it's just because this was also literally right after the Hate album, so I was kind of more in that mood anyway. But I don't know. For me, I wasn't digging it too much. What were your thoughts? Did you like this one at all?
I didn't really listen to this one. I'm skimming it now. And I kind of get what you're saying, it sounds pretty in between hardcore, metalcore, a little heavier, They kind of definitely have some almost Dillinger-esque riffage going on. So that kind of sounds pretty fun, but yeah, man, it sounds cool.
Yeah, I think
I
it,
just
it
didn't
would.
make it that far in the playlist.
I think it would be cool to see live. It's just as it stands, I don't feel too invested into it. Because like I said, I feel like I've heard this many times before, and I feel like a lot of bands are doing this almost exact same sound, kind of like Dying Wish, um, kind of a lighter version of Varials. Which it's not bad. It's just for me personally, I'm just not feeling it at the moment. Yeah, if that does sound like something up your alley, check out Your Spirit Dies with their new album, My Gnawing Pains Will Never Rest. Yeah,
It's a good title.
that's it for new releases. Is there anything you think we missed?
Um, I don't think so. Yeah, no, I
All
think
right,
that's it, man.
all right. Let's move on over to metal.
Metal news.
News. All right. First off, the biggest of the metal news is um, it's the 1 year anniversary of Death Metal Daddies podcast, which really there is no other metal
Wow,
news because that is the metal news.
that's the news.
But in all seriousness, there have been a couple new tours that have been announced. Um, I think you shared one with me, and that's this the big tour coming through. It's gonna be who was the opening band? It's Municipal Waste. Who was the other opener?
Fulci.
Fulci, yes, that's it. Fulci, Municipal Waste, and then the death metal legends Cannibal Corpse
Yes.
coming
So
through.
this your second opportunity, man.
Hell
You think you're
yeah.
gonna make this one?
I will try. It is in Kansas City, so that'd be good. I want
And
to
it's
say
on a
that
Monday. I know, right?
why do they do
Motherfuckers.
this?
I know.
Well, hopefully it's not like, a day that something in my life is going on, not like Mother's Day, my anniversary, a kid's birthday.
Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah. Yeah, might be a good excuse to call in on Monday.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I want to say there's other tours that got announced, and now I can't think of them. I know that was a big one. Oh, there was another tour. Summer Slaughter is back.
Oh
Under
yeah.
under a new owner this time. It's no longer Ash Avildsen from Sumerian Records. It's now being ran by Jamie Jasta. He announced, I guess, that he is now in charge of Summer Slaughter, and the very next day they announced the tour lineup,
And the
which,
headliner.
yep, which finding out Jamie Jost is running it makes complete sense for this entire lineup because it all seems like this is Jamie Josta approved bands that he likes, which I'm not
Mhm.
complaining. It just feels kind of like I don't know. It's
What's
like
this one called?
it's just called Summer Slaughter.
Summer. Yeah, okay. I think but like, so I've seen this already getting shit like online, and I have to kind of side with what I've been seeing, which is like, it shouldn't be Summer Slaughter unless you got some death on there, some
Yeah,
death metal for sure. And I feel
because
like it's lacking that, isn't it?
yeah, because when I think of Summer Slaughter, I think of two things. I think of either super
Uh,
heaviness, but also in like insane
I mean,
guitar work. And there's not
they
really a
got they they got some heavy, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I was kind of expecting bigger names.
yeah. So for those who don't know, this is the Summer Slaughter tour just announced. The headliners Hatebreed, obviously, because this is now Justice tour with Bleeding Through, Fugitive, Malevolence, who I would actually like to see Malevolence, Gridiron, Esquila Grind, Snuffed on Sight, and Insight. Um, so already just that I do feel slightly underwhelmed. I don't think it's as bad as last year's because I felt like last year's it was all like this is just all like Sumerian deathcore bands. Like that's all this is. This feels more like, well, this entire lineup just feels like this would be like a quarter section of the Metal New England Hardcore Festival they have once a year. Um,
Yeah,
but
I could see that.
upon further looking into this, I'm even kind of more slightly disappointed about this tour. It feels shorter because I think the closest date, they don't have a Missouri date. The closest they come to us this time is Oklahoma City.
Mm,
And
damn,
so,
that's far.
if you were excited about some of these bands, there's not a single show where all these bands are on it.
Oh,
There's
ew.
rotating bands. Bleeding Through is only on the last half of the tour. No, they're only on the last four shows of the tour.
Wait,
Um,
bleeding through?
yeah,
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
they're only at the New York, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Michigan again shows. There's a couple shows where there's no Squalor Grind, couple shows where there's no Snuffed on Sight.
Yeah, that's crazy. How you gonna put bleeding through in like one of the main slots, looking like a main slot when they're only at 4 shows of the eight? Is that 18 shows?
I think
Or
so.
I can't math. 20.
No,
No,
16
24.
shows.
Oh wait. Yeah.
16 shows. So,
Oh, geez.
so just for us, like the Oklahoma show's the closest one to me. The actual lineup for that show would be Hatebreed, Fugitive, Malevolence, Gridiron, Escuela Grind, and Sight. I
Yeah.
mean,
It's like, yeah, if I'm gonna go out to this, I really am gonna have to see like bleeding through, Malevolence, Escuela Grind, and Snuffed on Sight. Like, yeah,
yeah.
if it's lacking any one of those, I'm just not gonna really be motivated to go, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of get it because I feel like I don't think Jasta is as rich as Ash Avildsen was because he ran a whole very successful record label where Jasta, yeah, he's kind of big in the middle. Like he has Hatebreed. I think he has his podcast, but at the same time, I don't think he's making the same amount of money, and I don't know if he's ever ran a full tour and trying to rebrand it. So I can understand having less bands and maybe less dates, but still, I don't know, maybe call it something else.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know.
Because at this
It's,
point, it feels just like a normal tour.
mm-hmm, yeah, right. It doesn't feel like Summer Slaughter. Huh, I don't know. Yeah, kind of meh on that one for me.
Yeah. Um,
What else? What else have we sent each
I
other
feel like there
besides
is,
the pictures?
huh?
Besides the pictures.
What pictures?
The pictures.
I feel like there was more stuff, but I can't think of them.
Mudvayne announced
Oh,
the 50th. No, sorry, 20. I can't do numbers today. It's LD50. Um, they announced the 25th anniversary tour, half of that. So, yeah, there we go. Making sense now. But yeah, that's coming around. That's kind of
yeah,
cool.
it's what them, Static X, and who's the other opener?
Um, let me check. Seeing if I can find it. Oh, Vended,
Oh,
Slipknot's Sons band.
yeah.
Still kind of more excited about that than I am Summer Slaughter.
I think seeing Static X would be kind of be cool, but at the same time, someone put it in perspective. I don't know how I feel about how they're doing the Static X thing.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm pretty sure they have one of the dudes from that Dope band do the vocals, and then he just wears a Wayne Static mask.
Yeah, but I've heard someone put it in certain perspectives, like, you know what, that actually does, because I was excited to see them back and still try to create new music, but so if put it in this perspective, so the guy Wayne Stagg died, and then
Mhm.
all the old members who I guess weren't really on the best terms with Wayne Static decide to reform the band and have some guy parade around as him as a reanimated corpse of him and are releasing songs that Wayne Stack wrote but didn't think want to publish because he didn't think it was good enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that there's obviously more stories to this, probably, their sides of it. And from an outside perspective, from what I've seen, it seems like Wayne Static, we all know he died of an overdose,
Hmm.
so he obviously had a problem. I would have to assume that they were probably keen to that, and maybe tried to get him to quit and get better. And maybe that's where the feud started, because maybe he didn't want the help, and that,
Yeah.
that'll create a rift right there. So, but that being said, I want to say that the members that are doing this today are mostly all original
Yeah.
from like back in the day, which I think that's cool, and those dudes, if they helped write that music, then you know what, man, it's 3 votes out of 4. So, I mean, I think that they have as much right to do this as he would have done had one of they died. I
Yeah.
mean, it is weird the kind of what do you call it? Like a characterization of a dude that has passed,
Mhm.
but oddly, I think it kind of works because everyone misses Wayne so much.
Yeah.
I don't think that anyone was really expecting to see that dude go so soon.
Yeah.
And I think when you miss someone that much, man, I think people are going to grasp to anything they can that's resembles or is relatively close to him. And that dude does a pretty good job, man, of replicating his vocal style and even writing songs kind of in the vein that sound like Wayne Static style. So with that being said, I think that they're doing the best they can to keep it going. And I kind of it. I'm in support of it, man. I think it's kind of cool. I listened to the Regeneration album, like first one or second one, and I think there's a good song or two on both albums that sound cool. They sound like I think they sound like Static X. They're
Hmm.
keeping the Static X sound, and um I don't know. I like that more than like a Linkin Park direction,
Yeah.
where they're going modern. So it's I don't know. Just one of those Tiffies, man. It's no different than Pantera, in my opinion.
Hmm.
But
So I think that could probably be a good transition to tonight's topic because that's kind of making me think of some other bands with similar issues, and not necessarily members who have passed, but to where there's a split between a lot of the members, like the core members, and one member who has copyright to everything, kind of creating a rift. Like there's a couple bands with similar things of that. Like Sepultura is a perfect example. There was a rift, and almost all the core members left the band to where it was really, at certain points, Sepultura was no longer Sepultura, and a lot of people are just calling Sepultura a cover band at that point because Max had left, Igor had left, a lot of the main members had left and started Calvera Conspiracy, which is now pretty much just re-releasing all their old albums that they wrote. And now that Sepultura is finally ending, I don't know about you, but I've been seeing a lot of people like, okay, a cover band is ending. No one really cares because at the same time, they didn't write all the songs that everyone fell in love with Sepultura about, which I'd
hmm
have no qualms about Sepultura. I mean, I think that there was some good stuff with Derek Green and the other members. I wasn't around or paying attention during all those bickering stuff, but um, I don't know. What's your thoughts on the whole Sepultura thing?
I don't know much about Sepultura, honestly. It kind of seems like I haven't even read a lot about it, but um, I don't know, man. There's definitely different styles there with the vocal change.
Hmm.
And I don't even know as far as other member changes go, who's original anymore and who's not. But if you take, the modern Sepultura albums versus the old, I mean, they sound like totally different bands.
Hmm.
But it's just where they started too. I mean, if you look at Shadows Fall and All That Remains, they actually have an interesting kind of weave. Whereas the dude that fronts All That Remains, he was in Shadows Fall, I think, when they formed.
Hmm.
And then I don't know where Brian Fair came from, but I think what's the dude's Labonte
Oh,
or
Phil.
yeah, he went off to start All That Remains, and I don't know that there was any beef there or not. I don't even really know what I'm getting at with that switch, but uh, yeah, I don't know, man. I know it gets tricky, especially when you have record label signings and stuff too, and
Hmm.
the rights to music. And I think a lot of the times these guys are just signing shit that they don't even know what the fine print really says. And
Yeah.
that's where a lot of these clusterfucks come from, is whenever that band member does split and they got a lawyer up, that lawyer's got to look at all these documents they signed and see who owns what and who gets what. And yeah, man, I'm sure it just causes a world of fucking issues and resentment towards people that were once cool and writing music together. So
Yeah.
it sucks, man.
And I think sometimes it can really like there's always going to be that underneath stuff, but sometimes it does affect the fans in a bad way because that was the main thing I was wanting to get at was going to be the band that it's the most biggest issue with it, and that is Gorgoroth with the whole I think it's
Hmm.
Infernus is the member who owns the copyright to Gorgoroth. When Gaul was in the band, same with I think King of Hell. I feel like that era of Gorgoroth was probably my favorite. They had that song "Carving the Giant," the Ad Majoris
Yeah.
Sathanas or whatever album. I think that's the best part of Gorgoroth that era. But then they left the band. I guess there was a huge lawsuit because they found out Infernus had copyright control of everything, so they couldn't do anything about it. But I guess there's enough litigation to where now you cannot. It's not on Spotify. None of Gaul's albums or King of Hell's stuff with Gorgoroth is on Spotify. You can't really buy any of their albums, those albums, anywhere unless you buy it from a someone just reselling an old one. Which good luck because they're all super expensive, which sucks because
Wow.
I want to hear that music again. Um,
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know. That's
crazy.
that's my biggest beef with that, and I almost feel like there should. I'm not wishing anyone would die, but I wish there would be like some kind of changing of like who owns this, who can play it, or even some kind of reconciliation between them. I don't know. I want that music back. I want to be able to hear that music back. I want to listen to that music whenever I want again. Because
Hmm.
apparently the only way I can now is if I listen to Godseed live at Wacken, because they play a couple of those songs when they formed Godseed. Other than that, I can't really
Huh.
listen to it.
Wow. So you can't even like find it on YouTube or anything, or?
You can find it on YouTube, but I don't really like to listen to music on YouTube, just because I have to keep my phone. It drains my battery.
Yeah. I hate how like when you close your phone, it closes the video, you know? I don't know if
Yeah.
there's like an option where you can change that. There might be. I don't.
I feel like someone showed me a trick, but I forgot that, and that was many years ago.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't, I'll peep a music video here and there on YouTube, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Definitely not a primary listening source for me. Yeah, man, it's a sticky situation, dude. Especially when you get the legal system involved and shit. And yeah, who knows what's gonna come out of that? I mean, whoever pays the most, I guess, up front.
Yeah, because I feel like now with this, because I think Gorgoroth is now Infernus, and I want to say the guy from Talk is now the singer, which is cool and good, but I'm pretty sure that means they can't ever come to the U.S. now, because I'm pretty sure he every time he comes, there's always a uproar.
Hmm.
So I kind
Yeah,
of wish Gall was still the singer. And also, I kind of liked his vocals better with Gorgoroth anyway, because I feel like Talk, he has a lot
definitely
more.
brutal.
Yeah, he has a lot more of those rougher vocals to where
Hmm.
Gall had more. I felt like Gall had a more powerful voice.
He just sounded kind of more raw, you know,
Hmm.
little little like act in there. It just seems serious with that guy, you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah, very intense guy.
Sorry.
Which I want to say his new project is coming out with a release soon. Gall's Wind or whatever.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Huh. I haven't really been keeping up with that guy at all. That reminded me though, did that King of Hell dude, did he die? I want to
I
say he
don't
died
actually
recently.
know. Now you bring that up,
Let
I
me look
think he
this
might
up.
have now.
I think I've seen something like that. I'm I'm gonna feel terrible if I'm wrong.
No, he's alive.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm mistaking him with someone or something.
Actually, it looks like is he okay, he used to
King.
be in a bath.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I read. Maybe he left a bath,
Yeah.
and maybe I related that to like, oh, his career's dead.
Yeah, I have heard some negative things from the black metal musician community about him.
About a bath.
No, about King of Hell.
Oh, really? See, I've read things about a bath too, that he's like got a drinking problem,
Yeah, I
difficult to
have
be
heard
around and
that.
work with. And like, I guess there's even videos where he's like clearly drunk
Hmm.
and like being an asshole, but I don't know. You're gonna get those people.
Yeah. With King of Hell, I've just heard a lot about a lot of fakeness.
Hmm. He
Like
looks badass.
yeah, but that's the thing. I think he, because I was watching something. There's like the Black Metal documentary, and the director was in another documentary, and he was talking about, I guess, like off camera, like they were joking, and he was smiling, laughing, like they're having a good old time. But as soon as the cameras rolled, he like just straight serious, refused to. I was like, who's this guy?
Wow. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know, man. I haven't seen that, but like he's got one of the sickest corpse paint get-ups, I think.
Yeah,
Like one of my favorite black metal looks for sure. Like he looks like he'd be a Sith Lord if he's, you know, in Star Wars or something. Be cool.
so, are you ready to get to despised icon?
Yeah, let's do it, dude. Did you have fun with this or did you hate it? So?
It had its ups and downs. I made the mistake of checking out. So I listened to the whole discography, and then I made the mistake of going to YouTube, and I felt like YouTube ruined a lot of vibes for me. 'Cause I
Oh,
think
yeah.
seeing them m made me not like some things.
Really? Oh, man.
I think my mistake was I watched the music video for I think I started off with Day of Mourning,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I hated it so much.
Yes.
There's just a lot going on of like I hate that, I hate that, I hate that, and I liked the song Day of Mourning, but the music video I was
Yeah, they were in like a gangster type edgy phase. I guess you could say. I don't know what it was.
and even that it was the whole like they're wearing like polos and like flat brimmed
Yeah.
hats.
I mean, they're Canadian or something, aren't they?
Yeah, they're from Montreal.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. They're foreign, so like I give them a break. I'm just like, whatever. I feel
They're
like
not
I'd
that
be
far
I'd be
from
more
us.
hard. Yeah. I, kn- I know, but for some reason I don't know why. I just feel like if they were here, or from here I might be more harsh,
Yeah.
but it's like,
Also it
it's
was
just foreigners. Yeah.
also it was just kind of a different time. This because that was what Day of Mourning was 2008, so it does kind of
Yeah,
fit the style of that time. But
right.
I don't know.
Post
For
Creed
me,
era.
yeah, for me, just seeing it, um, because because I thought I was like, yeah, this is one of the good songs, and then I see the videos like, ooh, I wish I hadn't have seen that. But, yeah, this
They're
is
G's, man.
what's
Straight
that?
G's. I said they're G's, man. Straight G's.
But yeah, this is the OGs, the almost pioneers of deathcore, Despised Icon from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Um, And I did not realize that they had been around this long. I didn't realize their debut was what, 2002? Um,
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
so I will say that does give me a little bit more appreciation for this band because it makes me put them more in the category of like the early roots of deathcore, so like Despised Icon, Through the Eyes of the Dead, the Red Chord, to where you can kind of see the different deathcore come together from different angles, to where Red Chord was kind of a grindcore-ish front. Despised Icon seems to become more from a slammy standpoint. Uh, and then Through the Eyes of the Dead just seemed to be, I don't know, just coming out of nowhere, straightforward deathcore, but
Hmm.
more of a death metal vibe.
Sure.
A little bit more
Yeah, I can see
appreciation
that.
for that. Yeah. Since this is more of your band, I'll let you lead this. You want to go down this discography?
Sure, man. So up first, we have Consumed by Your Poison in O2. And this is a 10-song album, relatively short songs. For me, my personal opinion, nothing crazy here. I'm not really a Despised Icon fan, even at this time when they dropped. I think I kind of caught on to them a little late, but yeah, I tried to go back to this album, but it's just kind of bare roots of what this band becomes, and um, I don't know. I just like their later sound more. So yeah, this was probably a six for me.
Okay. Um, for me, so I actually accidentally listened to this out of order because Spotify has a weird. I listened to the healing
Oh, okay.
process first, and then I listened to this, and that's when, as soon as this started, I realized, oh, it's out of order, because it's
Yeah.
very apparent. But I actually
Hmm.
liked this a lot more than I thought I was going to, because it does have more almost a slammier kind of vibe to it, a lot more. Almost kind of reminds me of like Annotations of an Autopsy. Not as heavy as that, but kind of that vibe.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
it's still they're still young. They're still it's 2002. So they're
Right.
I enjoyed this part. There were some parts where I kind of had to laugh out loud because there was parts where it was right before a deep like you can hear his
Yeah.
like voice crack right before he tries to go into the deep part. There were some funny parts with that, but I did enjoy it. This was a kind of a grimy roots album, so I did enjoy that part. I'll probably give this one a 6.7.
Okay.
All right. What is next?
Up next, and you just mentioned earlier, you could tell that whenever you went from this album to the earlier one that you noticed the difference, which I think is crazy, man. This is their second album, and it drops in, well, Spotify, let's see, it has it as 2006, but that might be wrong. Yeah, Healing Process 2005. So, but dude, I think that the transition from the last album to this one is huge. And like this is where Despised Icon like becomes Despised Icon. They have absolutely badass songs. This is an awesome album, dude, and one of my favorites of them, honestly. Um, awesome parts, dude, throughout this entire thing. I think front to back, it's a solid album. Bulletproof Scales, super badass, man. Uh, sick breakdown, I want to say in that one. Retina is has some awesome riffage in that one, man. The Sunset Will Never Charm Us, fun song there. It's just a solid album, dude, and I think for their sophomore one, it was absolutely fantastic and really beyond its time. But I would probably give this one an 8.8.
Okay. I will say this. So it seems that this is where Alex kind of comes into the band because this seems to be where those more mid-range vocals kind of come in. Which is kind of for before this, that was always kind of my problem. Was his vocals for me? It just felt very tough guyish. But listening to these albums more and more, I do kind of favor Alex's vocals over the other singer's highs. I still love the other singer's lows. I think his lows are awesome. His highs get annoying a lot. So I
He's a
do.
breed champ, dude.
Yeah, his breeze are awesome. I could do without his high pitched as much. Like I think
Yeah,
in moderation it works, but
yeah.
later down the road it gets annoying sometimes. But I will say this one took a little bit. I did re-listen to this again today, right before the podcast, and there are some parts that stick out a little bit more, like bulletproof scales, like you brought up, silver plate advocate, immaculate, the sunset will never charm us. There's some good stuff on this, but this still isn't fully getting me on board yet. And I think no matter what I've realized what my issue with Despise Icon is, it's something that you've brought up a long time ago about Lorna Shore's Flesh Coffin album, is it feels like
Hmm.
there's so much vocals in it that's almost covering up what the actual band is doing. Because whenever there
Okay.
not isn't vocals, the instrumentation's awesome. Like there's a lot of cool
Hmm.
guitar stuff, chugs, groovy parts. Um, so for this, I feel like this this is almost there for me. But I
Hmm.
think it gets it a little bit better down the road. So for me, I'm probably going to give this one a 7.2.
Okay.
What was your
Fair
ranking?
enough. I gave it an 8.8.
Okay, so that'd be 16.
Um, but I think, man, the healing process, that album, dude, it's honestly, I think that a Dying Fetus fan could be a fan of this album because I
Yeah.
think if you just take the vocals and swap them, it's very similar music.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's weird.
Yeah, and
But
this.
I do love that slammier, brutal death edge that
Mhm.
this like kind of core band has, you know. I find that really awesome.
Yeah, and I will say this coming out in 2005, this is very almost ahead of its time for being 2005. Like the
Hmm.
2002 album, the Collapse in Your Poison or whatever, that feels very
Consume by your poison.
2002. This feels
You
this
right.
feels more down the road with
I
when it came
agree.
out.
Hell yeah. All right. Onward to The Ills of Modern Man, '07. This album kicks ass, man. I remember having like or I would go to like the local grocery store and look for the Revolver magazines, you know, back when they had those magazine little sections. I don't know if they still do, but it still have the metal magazines anyways, you know, like I used to look forward to that so much as a kid, dude. Anyways, I remember flipping through pages, and one page was just dedicated entirely to this album cover, Despised Icon, The Ills of Modern Man. And I just remember that being imprinted into my brain at the time. Like, I just thought that was the coolest looking thing ever. Never looked it up at the time, but you know, years later, ended up making the connection. I'm like, oh shit, that's this bit. Like, oh damn, dude, that's awesome. I wish, you know, wish I would have checked them out whenever I first seen that. But dude, solid album. I absolutely love this album. I think that this is they're more developed here than they are in the last album, and I think just rounding out their sound really well. Um, I think if I was to recommend a Despised Icon album to anyone to, you know, get them into this band, it would probably be this album. I think it's really listenable if you're just a metal fan. I think you can find something in here and any song that you might like. You know, it's just, I don't know. I think it's a great album, dude. They do a lot of different shit in here. It's really kind of techy at times, but they still have the awesome core breakdowns and moments that are just absolutely epic, dude. In the Arms of Perdition starts off banging. Furtive Monologue, Quarantine, Ills of Modern Man. Literally, like the chunk of the first 4 or 5 songs, I think, are just flawless. Um, so yeah, super badass album, man. I would give this one a 9.5.
Okay. Um, this is the one. So before this I knew this was a big one for this band because I want to say this one and The Day of Mourning are were the ones that I always thought were like outside looking in. This was like I want to say like their classic albums. Um, and I can tell that with like the songs In the Arms of Perdition. Going into this, I didn't realize I have this song saved somewhere in an old playlist somewhere.
Oh
Um,
wow.
so yeah, that's the song that stuck out to me. Furtive Monologue. That was one of the music videos that I actually got on YouTube. It was like, okay, this is what I would expect from because that was actually cool, fit the song, It wasn't annoying. It felt the video fit the time, but it's still a good song that you can still listen to nowadays. You got a fractured hand, nameless, tears of the blameless. This is a. I feel like this is the first one in this discography so far that I could actually listen all the way through. It still has some of the things that kind of annoy me, but it's still a stronger album, a stronger outing of this band. Um, but yeah, so I'm probably gonna give this one a. I'm gonna feel a solid 8 on this one. They're getting better, but
Yeah,
still, I do think they get better down their career.
nice, nice. I can't remember what song it is on this album, but one of the songs really resembles this moment to me, or like there's this moment in one of the songs where it literally sounds like they're shouting out like a radio station. I don't know what the lyrics are, but it's just like dun 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 dun, and the vocals are something like I always think it's like KWR. It's like it's so ridiculous. I know it's not the lyrics, but like every time I hear that part come on, it just sounds like they're hyping up this radio station. So stupid little
Maybe it is. Maybe
play it
it's a
for
radio
on
station
my
in
line for
Quebec.
you. Maybe, yeah, it could be. But yeah, Il's a Modern Man, dude. If you haven't listened to it, let's do it. Up next, Day of Mourning in '09. And this album, dude, really caught my attention, man. It is again another banger from this band. I pretty much was listening to them when this one dropped, I want to say. But what really caught me was like the drumming of the song MVP. It is just it is a freaking clinic of just drum proficiency, dude. It is insane. He does some crazy double pedal shit, sick ass breakdown, man, with some like triplets in there. It's nuts, dude. I love that song. That Day of Mourning, All for Nothing's a good one too. I want to say Eulogy. Um, there's some other ones, but with that being said, it doesn't fall as one of my favorites in their discography. I do think it is cool, but yeah, just not the top for me. So, but I would probably give this one an 8. I'd probably give this one an 8.8 as well.
Okay. Um, this is one. So I would say this is probably my favorite of the older Despise Icon. Starts off with Le Temps Changer, Day of Mourning, MVP, All or Nothing. For me, those first four, like that's the best part of the album, and that's what gives it for me that kind of classic death metal album vibe, deathcore album vibe from the 2000s. Like I might not have been there at that time of with this band, but listening to this makes me feel like I was at that time. Because again, just like in the Arms Tradition, I do have MVP saved because I do remember this song. Just like driving down the road one day, I think it was after recording one episode one time. It's like, let me
Mm,
check out some Despise Icon, and I played MVP. It's like I like this. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, this is I do feel like this is kind of peak at this time. This is probably also when they were most popular, and I can see why. This is a very well put together one. I do feel like this is for their early days. This is the best that had to offer. So I'm probably going to give this one an 8.7.
Okay. Nice.
So that's 17.5. Or no, yeah, 17.5.
Okay. I trust you. All right. Up next, we have so there's like a little gap in this timeline now because the band, I want to say, after a few years after the release of this album, the last one, they kind of decide to call it quits. And at that time, they didn't plan on getting back together. Believe they want to want to say they were splitting up because I think a member was having kids or something. Another guy was going on to a big job change or something like that. So I really didn't think that we would ever get Despised Icon again. They pretty much made it sound like a permanent split, but they do return in 2014, I think it is, and then they write this album, Beast, and release it in 2016. So super freaking awesome, man, that this band gets back together. I was super pumped, super hyped. Um, and then they released the tracks, and it was just kind of lackluster for me, honestly. Like I'm so glad that this band got back, man, but I really just didn't think the song was that strong. And the song that I want to say they released is Beast, and then they released the album, and Beast is the last track on the album. So, and honestly, this is probably the hardest Despised Icon album for me to get through. I think that, it's just, and then the fact that that song's at the end, not really motivated to even like get through it all. So I kind of moved away from this, moved on pretty quick. So with that being said, man, I'd probably give this one a 6. It
All
just
right.
didn't catch my attention, and maybe I need to go back through this and listen to it. I feel like I was really harsh right there in that moment. Didn't really intend to be, but just being honest.
I got you. Yeah,
What do you
this
think
is
of this one?
so like I said, I wasn't into this band when they were around, and then I heard that they were coming back. And Despise Icon was always like that band, like almost as popular as Job for a Cowboy back in those days. Like I feel like everyone talked about this band, but I wasn't into them. But then I heard they were coming back. They were coming out with this album. I remember that, like you said, they dropped the Beast track, and building up to it's like, oh yeah, when this comes out, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna. This song is awesome. I'm finally gonna figure out what this Despise Icon's about. So I downloaded this album as soon as it came out, and that's kind of just been what my attitude has been about with this band since.
Yeah,
Um, so I kind of
fair
just
enough.
kind of stopped caring for a while about this band. Just thought, man, it's that people like them. I'm not into them kind of thing. Going back to this, I actually don't mind it. I kind of appreciate going back through old stuff. I do think Despise Icon's sound is a little bit better. Like I love what I like about it is, yes, the old stuff is good because it has that grimy sound, but I do like the modernization of their sound. And it kind of starts with this coming into the future with this album in 2016. I do like
Okay.
how it starts off with Aftermath and Inner Demons. I think those songs are awesome, but there also is some stinkers in this album. And I'm looking specifically at the song Bad Vibes. Even though that's the most played song on this album with 1,052,000. Um,
Wow. Damn.
that not only is the song title, but the song itself is the whole reason of why I was always a little turned off by this band. It's giving me bad
Give me
vibes.
bad vibes. Yeah.
It's just not something I'm into. Gives me a bad taste in my mouth. But I do like the sound of the album and a couple of the songs. So I'm probably gonna give this one a 7.5.
Okay.
What was you were a
Fair enough.
6?
Yeah, I just gave it a 6.
All right. All right.
All right. And then they moved onward towards Purgatory in 2019. So they took some time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with it because this album, dude, is a jaw-dropping banger. This was, if we were doing the podcast this year, this probably would have been my album of the year. Um, because we probably would have done that before the Acacia Strain dropped It Comes in Waves, which I want to say was like right after Christmas or right before New Year's, something like that. So, anyways, but this was definitely a top listen for me, dude, when it dropped. I think front to back, this is the top tier gold Despised Icon album. I think that it really shows like how they grew because it's just like I don't know. I feel like with the lyrical like delivery in this album, I feel like Despised Icon kind of just touched base with simplicity. I don't think that they um really just tried too hard by any means. It almost sounds like it's just perfect simplicity. Like it just seems like they kind of toned back like the vocals, it's not overbearing, but I also think like the lyrics too, like the song Snake in the Grass. Like really all the songs, Purgatory, like Purgatory, set me free. It's like the chorus, but like in the badass death metal, his vocal. And I think that's so cool. It's such a simple line, but I think it's so damn catchy. And it's like, so for me, it just kind of really shows like great songwriting, man. I think they really honed in on their songwriting skills with this album. Purgatory, Lightspeed, again, he says like there's I forget the line in the song, and like at first reading the title, I was like Lightspeed, like what? But it's cool, man. It rips, dude. It's a badass song. Slow burning, Snake in the Grass, though. It's like it's got that Despised Icon attitude for sure, and I want to say Alex Arian does most of the vocals on this song, so you can imagine, like, if you haven't listened to this one, what it sounds like. But he's kind of talking to sounds like an ex or something. It's definitely kind of like a fuck you type bitch song. And so I don't know. I think that's a cool aspect of songwriting though, because they always say, you write to someone, and those songs are um most of the popular songs out there are written to someone, you know what I mean? So whatever. Take that for what it's or whatever. But anyways, getting off track here. I love this album, dude, front to back. This is my 10 for Despised Icon. So,
All
what do
right.
you think of this one, man?
I do think I'm gonna have to agree this is their best album. This is so like I was saying with the previous album, I love the sound that their sound in a modern context and like the better production, better sounding guitars and stuff and drums. So
Hmm.
that kind of culminates with this album. And I especially like that they have like this kind of the because I want to say they did this in a previous album. I can't remember which album. Maybe it was the previous album where it had kind of like more instrumental interlude tracks. I like how they start off with Denier, I guess Souffle, which
Hmm.
very reminds me of the intro to the Mental Cruelty album, A Hill to Die Upon. But I
Mm.
do think it kicks right into Purgatory, which just that's the thing about this album. Beefy guitars, and I love
Oh
that
yeah, dude.
sound with this band. And the thing I love about Purgatory is I can actually figure out what they're talking about. And I wish they would do more stuff like this, like Purgatory, to where it's
Yeah.
almost like anti-religious, not really anti-religious, but like going against it. So I almost wish Despised Icon would kind of stick with that kind of like lyrical thing because I love that kind of stuff with the Despised Icon sound, kind of that more
Hmm.
uh uh I don't know, sticking to God, sticking it to him. Um,
Yeah.
I like that sound with it. Lightspeed. So this is I had to listen to this album a couple times because the first time I heard Lightspeed, I thought, what the fuck? With the
Yeah.
right before the drop, it goes, what's he say? It's almost a little cheesy, like "Let's go" or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh, I mean, there's literally a line in the song where he says, "I will go light speed," or "I will reach light speed," but he does like a brie on the speed, and I think for like, yeah, like if you read that as a lyric, it's gonna sound corny as shit, but his delivery is what makes it like chef's kiss, you know? I think it is so badass in the brie vocal. Anything else, I don't think it would have flied. I don't think
Yeah.
Alex Arian doing that line would have worked. I think it had to be that guy, Steve Maurice, man. That's like he's a champ breer in my opinion, one of the top. I love that dude's brie, man.
And that's the one where it has the ridiculous bass drop, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So like I said, it took me a couple listens, but I did end up liking Lightspeed despite uh I, the I'm about to go Lightspeed or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
will
still a
reach
pretty good
light speed.
song. It caught on to me for me. Snakes in the Grass has some groovy stuff. V's Dig Donjez. I don't know how to pronounce that one. But yeah, this is
Dungeons.
I do feel like this is the best culmination for this band, and Also, hats off because I also want to say that it looks like Ellerin Cantor's artwork, which I think is
Hell yeah.
impeccable for this song title or the album title. I think it all kind of wraps up together. I do think
I
this is
agree.
Despised Icon at its best. So I'm gonna give this a 9 because I do want to think if Despised Icon continues on this path, I think it can get even better and maybe get me a 10 at some point. But for now, this is my
Nice.
favorite, and this is gonna be a 9 for me.
Hell yeah, man. That's cool. Yeah, I love this is probably one of my favorite Ellerin Cantor paintings too. It's very simple. Like he's just it's a real big black kind of backdrop, but then you have like a fallen angel like I love how it looks like he's grounded, but like you see
Hmm.
his wings, but like he looks like he can't get up. It's cool.
Well, also, are his wings have they been turned gold to where they can't be
Oh,
used?
maybe that's it. Yeah, good point. Yeah, I think you're right.
And that's the thing
Damn,
about
that's
like
even more like meaning to it, dude. That's
and that's what
fucking
I kind of
awesome.
love about it. Like you said, it's simple, but it has very little on it, but it feels like it could say so much with it. And
Dude, for sure.
that's what I love about that, both with the title of this album, Purgatory, and also this artwork.
Absolutely. That is badass.
So yeah, that is our despised icon discography. At number one, we at with the 19, we have Purgatory. Number two, with a 17.5, Day of Mourning. Number three, we have In the Arms of Perdition, or no, The Ills of Modern Man. Number three with 17.
Yeah.
16, we have The Healing Process. Uh, 13.5, we have Beast. And 12.7, we have um, Contaminated with Your Poison, I think
Cons
it's called.
Consumed by your poison.
Consumed by Your Poison. It's a C. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this ranking?
I love it, dude. Yeah, the top three, that's my despised icon go-tos, man. And if I'm, wanting the oldies, I'll hit the healing process. I dig that.
Hell yeah. Yeah. That's our
Hoyt.
despised icon discography. Yeah.
Too.
So, who should we do next?
I have a wreck, but I know that I threw up options last week, so do you have options?
Um,
Do you want
I
me to
only
throw
have
mine in the
one
bag?
that I can think
Okay.
of.
Okay.
I want to say I had
Let's both
more.
say them. Let's say them at the count of three.
They're not going to be the same.
I know, let's just see if they are.
Okay. One,
One,
two,
two,
three.
three.
Morbid Angel.
Decapitated. No.
I don't think I've ever listened to Decapitated like a full album all the way through.
Oh damn, man.
I think I've
They
listened
they
to
got they got some gold, man. I love Decapitated.
what is it, Nihility or what's the one with Spheres of Madness?
I think that's Nihility. Let me see.
I
I've
think I've
actually
listened.
been it's like I've been rotating that song. That's been in my rotation recently. That one is yeah, you're right, Nihility.
I think I've gotten close to finishing that one, and I think I've also checked out Anti-Cult.
Okay.
Other than that, I
Yeah,
don't think I've really fully delved into like a full album. I don't think I checked out much of Cancer Culture.
yeah, I don't think I did either on that one. But they got some solid stuff, man. I do want to say I think they got a good handful of albums though.
It doesn't look like too many. See, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Not a lot. Because
Okay.
I think when I was looking at Morbid Angel, I think they were like 9 or 10.
Okay. It's up to you, man.
Um,
Down for whatevs.
um, let's keep those two. How about I come up with two more, and then I'll have you pick out of those four.
Okay.
Um,
Deal.
So Morbid Angel, Decapitated,
Here.
Deftones.
Oh, okay. I'm
Um,
about to pee my pants, so I'll let you think of one more. All right, can you hear me now?
yeah. So
Sorry,
actually,
I was on the cusp of drenching myself.
I have two more. So we'll have five total to choose from.
Oh,
We
okay.
have Morbid Angel, Decapitated, Deftones, Slayer,
Ooh, okay.
and Origin.
Wow. Damn. There's some huge names up here. Um, hmm. You know what? I kind of want to switch it up. I do want to tackle probably all those bands at some point, but let's do yours, Morbid Angel.
Oh, hell yeah. All right.
So I'm not too familiar, so I think it's going to be my week to kind of step out of my box.
I have a feeling there's going to be a certain album that you'll probably love because I love this album and I think it's going to be the same for the same reasons I think you're probably going to like this album, but I'll let you figure that out on your own of which one that is.
Okay.
Um, but yeah. So also when it comes to Spotify and Morbid Angel, rule of thumb is so all their albums are in alphabetical order. It goes A B C D E. So if you so like it goes Altars of Madness. Then for some reason they have a compilation, Abominations of Desolation. Skip that one.
Okay.
Blessed Are the Sick, Covenant, Domination. Skip Entangled in Chaos. That's a live album. Formulas Fatal to the Flesh. Gateways to Annihilation.
Did they do this on purpose?
Yep. Well, apparently
Wow.
the first three albums they didn't plan on, then they just decided to stick with it.
Wow. Okay.
Heretic, Elude Divinum Insanus, Skip Juvenalia, that's a live album, and then their newest one,
Okay.
Kingdoms Disdained.
Okay.
So that's what I think
Cool.
eight or nine. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. So yeah, nine albums.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, classic band. Kind of a little crazy now. 'Cause I don't know if you follow Trey Azagsoth, but
I don't think so.
he's the guitarist. He's kind of always kind of been a shitbag based off of the book I'm reading. That Choosing Death, because I guess he like I don't know if he kicked out the member, but he slept with one of his band members' girlfriends. Got his ass
Oh,
kicked by him, and then I
nice.
think he kicked him out.
Oh,
So
wow.
alright, but recently he for the longest time he had like an upside down cross tattooed. I guess he covered it up because it's gone now. But on that same arm where that tattoo was, I guess every night when they play shows, he'll Sharpie.
What? Wow.
So he's kind of a wild guy.
Oh boy. Damn. Is he the one that just actually we missed a segment for Metal News? There was someone that was just arrested, or I want to say killed in a
Really?
shootout with the police in a metal band. Oh yeah, guitarist for death metal band Possessed. Um, Killed
Oh,
in shootout with California cops. Brian Montana.
damn.
Yep. After an argument with a neighbor over tree clippings turned violent. Brian Montana, 60, guitarist for the band Possessed, died in a shootout with cops after he pulled a gun on a neighbor during an argument. Oh boy. Damn. One neighbor sustained non-life-threatening injuries in the shootout, during which Montana took cover behind parked cars and landscaping and used 3 different guns to shoot at cops for almost half an hour. Holy
Jesus.
shit. He fired multiple times at officers using a handgun, shotgun, and rifle.
Over tree clippings?
Did you hear me there?
Yeah, I heard you, but
Yeah, over landscaping shit, I guess. I was just making sure because my computer was starting to lag out, so.
no, I was trying to see if I could
That's-
see the story, but man. You don't get that crazy about your landscaping, do you?
Keep your damn clippings off my side of the road.
Just pull out a whole stockpile of different weapons to shoot.
I will fucking kill you.
I'll literally die on this hill.
That I mulched myself. Oh, jeez. That is fucking
Man.
hilarious. That's
Crazy world.
Damn, I guess they're not going on tour anytime soon.
Oh, you know, so based on what I see, I think he was the original guitarist.
Well, should we do a possessed rankings, I guess?
I mean, it would only be 3 albums.
Oh. Shot in the dark.
Well, also, so they have a weird history too, because they start off young, and they had a different guitarist as well, who's now in a huge band. They had Larry Lalonde as their guitarist on their debut album, which if that name sounds familiar, but you can't place it, that's the guitarist from Primus.
Oh, shit. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. They did Seven
Interesting.
Churches, Gates to Hell, I think. Then an EP called Eyes of Horror. They broke up. The singer and bassist was like working at, I think, at a liquor store. He got robbed and he got shot and paralyzed.
Oh my gosh.
But then
Wow.
they came back in like mid or late 2000s. So now he just performs in a wheelchair. And they came out with an album, I think like 8 years ago. No More
Wow.
Room in Hell. Yeah, they're still kicking it.
Oh
It's a
shit.
long
Wow.
gap for obvious reasons, but
Wow. Interesting.
yeah. Possess is a cool band. We'll do them at some point. We did Death. We also
Okay.
got to do the other one that
Right.
people argue are the creators of death metal.
Pestilence.
Do either of us want to do that one?
Yeah. Not really. Not from what I've heard and seen. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we were talking about them for a while, but now they've I feel like they were attention farming for a while though.
Yeah, it kind of definitely seems like that. I think they kind of faded back to their corner or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So Morbid Angel, or do you want to do Possessed?
Yeah, let's do Morbid Angel.
Okay, sweet. So next time we will be doing Morbid Angel. Get excited. Um, yeah. Anything else to add before we start plugging away?
I don't think so, man. I'm good over here.
All right. Hey, you, the listener. Hey, listen to this. You can check us out on Facebook. You can check us out on Spotify or anywhere else you get your podcast. You listen to me now because we're also on TikTok. You can follow us on there and subscribe. We're also on, yeah, you can check us out on those.
Sweet.
And, emails directly at deathmetaldaddies@gmail.com. Like and subscribe on Facebook and Spotify. All those help. You can even leave a review. Yeah. Until then, while you're checking all those out, and including our back catalog, but yeah, until then, we are Death Metal Daddies, and we are out.
Goodbye.
Happy 1 year anniversary.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Sorry,
actually,
I was on the cusp of drenching myself.
So actually,